Super Dirt Week, racing's biggest party, is all new this year. It's racing, music, camping, and a huge Saturday night finale. See your dirt car racing heroes battle wheel to wheel all week for a chance at glory. Get your tickets at superdirtweek.com or call 844-DIRT-TICKS. The 52nd running of Super Dirt Week, October 7th through the 12th. Be there.
And here we are back again live at Heritage Hill Brewhouse. It is the Q&A, the exclusive Q&A here on QSportsTalk.com. So welcome to those who are joining us on the video here on the camera. And if you have any questions for Coach Fran Brown, you can put them in the stream chat. We will get to as many of those as we possibly can. Coach, how you doing?
I'm chilling. How about yourself?
Good. A short week there for you with the family weekend in the rearview mirror and a great atmosphere Saturday in the Dome. And like you said, it's a noon game, a nice win, home early. Playtime with the daughter, and then watch some football Saturday night. It worked out great for you.
Yeah, it worked out fun. It was good. It was a good week. It was a good night. I got to watch some good football, hang out with my family. So I was really excited. I'm very thankful I had that weekend. There
was a lot of good games. The Ole Miss Kentucky game was a good finish, and obviously the one they're showing again here on the ESPN, the Georgia-Alabama game, was an instant classic. So good Saturday night football to watch.
Yeah, it was. Definitely was.
Did you watch any NFL?
I don't get time because of on Sunday what we're doing in the office and things like that, so don't get time. I just see it, might walk past someone's office and Red Zone might be on or something like that, but I don't really get time to watch NFL that much.
Well, we're streaming here, and questions are pouring in here already, so we'll get right after them. First question up. Coach, do you collect any memorabilia? Do you have any memorabilia or possessions from season to season? Anything that you collect?
No, my wife does. I just...
Like what kind of stuff does she?
Everything.
Like programs,
T-shirts, just everything you could possibly think of. She does that a lot. So I'm used to. I just move on. I got the memories in my head and my heart. You know, I got some of the pictures and things like that. But
like
move on to the next.
Footballs from a significant game or anything like that?
We got a few. Like we got a little mantelpiece in my home in Jersey. It's a lot of stuff there that we have, but if my kids ask for something, you know, certain schools that they may say, Dad, could you get me a ball from that school or do this? Then I may, like, if we played them, I'll ask one of the coaches, hey, you think I can get this for my son? Or I can do that, but outside of that, I just
let her do that, and then
on to the next.
And for you, you got it up there anyway.
Yeah.
This one from Steve. The question, Coach, two players that we thought might be big factors on each side of the ball were Arande and Fidel Diggs. Arande had one catch against Holy Cross and two against Stanford and several drops. Fidel had no tackles against the Crusaders. What can we do to help get those guys going?
We won last week, so, you know, if that happens every week and we keep winning, I'll be cool with that. But I think they're in the plans of being able to do what's needed. Just other guys were open, you know. So other guys got different things. And, I mean, our quarterback passed for 380-some yards. So, you know, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, he was throwing the ball to the guys that were open, and guys were making plays. And Fidel, I mean, if you pay attention, they double him. So, you know, he's getting doubled. He's getting so that opens it up for other guys if he's being doubled. So.
You know, we have Kyle on with us once a week, and I'd mentioned that to him today, in fact, about the numbers, and, you know, he's the first quarterback in SU history to achieve those goals. And he said exactly the same thing. He said, hey, if I have to throw 50 times to get a win, that's what I'll do. If we have to run it 50 times to win the game, then that's what I'll do. It just so happens that right now that's working, so that's what we're doing. So he's same thing, just more interested in the end result for the team and not any personal number that's out there for him.
Yeah, we just trying to win. Just by 1 point, man. That's it. We just want to win.
See a question here. Coach, do you ever give out any game balls at the end of games in the locker room? I haven't really had the opportunity, like, to players and things like that. No, I haven't. I acknowledge what the success that certain players had individually after the past game and games like that. But, no, I haven't given out any game balls yet. Quick non-football question. How's your golf game? You golf coach? Did we ask you that?
No, I suck at golf.
It's just terrible.
I got clubs, though. Actually have nice clubs that someone bought for me, and they're very dusty. Very dusty. I got a little thing, Butternut Creek. They told me I could come over whenever and hit. And
take some lessons, hit a couple of balls.
I haven't took him up on that. I don't think I will. I'm too focused on just being at the facility. I got a 3-year-old daughter. I got a bunch of players just counting on me and stuff. I don't got time to go golf. Those guys that get good at golf, they're better men than I am. I just can't do that.
Do you do any of there's a lot of the fundraising type tournaments that they're like captain and crew, so there's not as much pressure, like you and 3 buddies, and whoever has the best shot, that's the one you use. Do you ever play in any of those? Those are kind of fun.
I went and did the Tom Coughlin for the J Fund this summer. I did that one. That was pretty cool. I met a bunch of cool dudes from Boston that we all got together and we were on teams. We did it, but when I tell you, I suck. So this,
drive the cart and have a good time.
Yeah, I'll be a good caddy. I'll drive the cart. I'll do whatever needed like that. So I don't mind going to hang out with guys, but I'd rather just go home and play cards or something. I'm not a golf guy. That's not my thing.
It's not your thing, and it's like all day.
I'd rather watch Tiger Woods do it. I can't do that, so it's I don't want to play golf.
You want to watch or be a part of something. If someone else is good, I agree with that. Just like watching people who are good at whatever it is they do.
Every time I swing, guys laugh and things of that nature. I don't got time to be the joke the whole time.
Question from Ryan, and I think this might have been kind of from last week more or so, because last week he had a golf shirt on, and some of the folks here on camera on QSportsTalk.com noticed some of the ink, and they wanted to know about some of the tattoos. Like, do you have a favorite one? What was your first one?
I got on my arm, I got my grandmother, and it says Guardian Angel. She passed away. My mother had me young, and my grandmother was like a mom and a grandmom to me. And I got Guardian Angel there. I got a lion and then 2 smaller cubs, which is myself, and then my 2 sons. Just make sure those were my kids. I got a cross right here on my arm, and inside of it says Crew Love. Me and a couple guys that I grew up with, everybody had that. We were all together, hung out. I got a bunch of tats in different spots, but none of them are they're just if I had a short sleeve on. None on the neck. I advise everybody, don't get none on the neck, don't get none on your hands. You got to make sure you can still go to work, and be able to work. But outside of that, I got a bunch of them.
They're meaningful.
Yeah,
obviously, that's why you have them. Everyone has a story to it.
I got mom here, which is meaningful, football on my arm, so it's a bunch of stuff.
Quick question here, Coach. How is Will Nixon feeling? He looked like he hobbled off the field.
He's a little banged up right now, so he's a little bit banged up, and we're gonna miss him for a little while.
The game this Friday, and we talked a little bit, and I didn't have a chance to hear if you and Matt brought it up, but as you'll notice, Paulie not here tonight helping out because he drove.
Yeah, he drove
to Las Vegas.
38 hours.
30. Is that what the final tally was?
38 hours.
I still don't get that. He could have been there 4 hours.
It's his thing.
I know it's his thing.
It's his thing, man. It's what he likes to do. I was earlier messing him around, telling him he needs to grow up. He don't have to do that. But that's his thing. You know what? And he'll have those memories with him for the rest of his life. So who are we to speak on it? We're not doing it. So, it's pretty cool that he enjoys doing it and gets to do it.
Yeah, he saw a good part of the country. He's in Las Vegas already, right? Went through the Rocky Mountains.
It's pretty cool.
Nothing wrong with that. Now, for the plane ride out with the, obviously, charter, years ago it was all commercial, but now you hop on a plane and you go, and it's about a 4-hour flight. Do you have a time on the plane to coach guys and give them assignments on their iPads, or do they take the 4 hours and just...
It's business on the plane. We'll give them a couple hours of sleep, but we got a lot of things we want them to do, go through. There's a hydration time, a certain amount of things you have to drink on a plane. There's certain socks that they have to wear, recovery socks that we make sure they put on for the blood flow and things of that nature. But if we're at work, we're going to work. It's a business trip, so it's a lot of things we have to do.
My brother just retired. He was an airline pilot for 38 years, and he said that's the big mistake people make is when they're on a long flight, they take their shoes off. Except it's the worst thing you can do because your feet swell up, and then people land and they can't get their shoes back on again because they're they should have kept their shoes on. Is that the type of thing with the
I
kind
never
of
knew
socks?
about taking them off, but the socks help with the blood flow and things. I never knew that taking your shoes off. Maybe that's why it's always hard to put my sneaks back on, because I take mine off every time I'm on a plane and flying, especially coming from East Coast to West Coast, 4-hour flight. I'm definitely taking my shoes off and try to
just chill and relax a little bit. And,
yeah.
What's the best movie about Las Vegas?
What's the best who?
Movie. 'Cause I know you like movies. Was that gambling movies or mob movies?
I would say mob.
Yeah.
Maybe Beverly Hills. But I don't know, Beverly Hills not in Las Vegas. What was that one when the guy was getting married and the other dudes got drunk? I forget the name of it.
Oh, The Hangover?
Hangover.
There you go.
That's a good one, probably. Hangover would be good. I would say Hangover. I was about to say Casino, but it's something totally different.
That's a whole different vibe on that one.
Vibe and all other piece of it. Yeah, maybe Hangover is probably
I'll give you that. I'm with you.
Las Vegas.
Question here, Coach. How do we deal with the UNLV offense, which seems a lot like the one we used back in the George DeLeon era years ago? Here at SU, it requires horizontal discipline, yet deep coverage.
Just got to stay focused, keep our eyes on our job. They do a lot. So we just got to keep our eyes on our job and stay as focused as we possibly can. Communicate, over-communicate.
Just talking
to each other a lot the whole time on the field. They got to all be on the same page.
Well, and UNLV, obviously a new quarterback, but didn't miss a beat for the team. Is it the system that Coach Odom has, or is it just the guy that they put in is next man up and quality athlete?
I think it's both, because I think that kid's a good football player, Hodge. He's a real good player, but I also think they got a good system too. They got a real good system. Marion's doing a good job, so.
This one here, Coach. How do you decide on your game day outfit? This person loved the orange vest last week.
I just, whatever sneaks.
Whatever.
I wore those sneaks today, and then when I got in there, it was an orange shirt. I wanted to make sure it was a white shirt underneath to match with the orange, so just there's no real decision. It happens just like whatever shoes I have on.
Isn't it amazing what people remember or people catch that you're not even thinking about, but they're noticing it and they're remembering it and maybe looking a little too deep into it.
I like sneaks, so I always try to make sure it goes with the sneakers. So the sneaks are the reason that usually whatever else comes with it, but I pick sneaks first.
Question here on the stream check, Coach. I see you wore number 2 at Western Carolina. Why number 2?
Everyone from our neighborhood was wearing it, and Coach Prime wore it. Deion Sanders, Deuce. But everybody from Canada was wearing that at the time. But Charles Woodson wore it. So, and I played corner, and I like Charles Woodson a lot. He's a guy that I, just idolized from just watching him playing and doing stuff. He was really good. So more so, Charles Woodson.
I was listening to you and Matt and on the topic of potential coaches among the players' ranks, that you recognize some talent or some ability in some of the players that might be good at coaching. And while you're talking about that, I was sitting over there on the computer just for the heck of it, Googled college football coaches and what position they played, and most were quarterbacks or defensive backs, a couple linebackers, but in like the 20 coaches that they highlighted there, D1 coaches, most of them were quarterback by far. So the guys who...
Just leaders.
And just the attention to the detail of the whole thing?
Yeah, just leaders and what they can take in and, how they lead and if they can get people to follow.
This question here from Jacob. Due to the emergence of Trevor's play this season and the value he brings to the offense, has the staff considered taking him off punt returns to reduce risk of injury?
No, then who's going to return the punts? He's good at that too.
He's good at it and he likes it.
Yeah, he'd be upset. He wants to be the kick returner too, and I told him, you can't do all. He wants to be kick returner, punt returner. He was telling me he could line up at corner. He wants to play running back, and he wants to do everything. Him and LeQuint want to play every position on the field. So it's hard when it comes to that, but just got to try to limit him. And but punt returner, he's a sure catcher. He's getting us the ball, so we want to do that. But we're trying to develop some young guys to see if those young guys could take a little of that slack off of him. But right now, we want him in.
This one here, a question from Ryan. Coach, as someone who played defensive back in college, can you tell us how tough it is to do what Travis Hunter is doing and playing two-way and being really good at it?
It's just tough. It's hard. You got to be able to. You just got to go. You got to be a gym rat. want to run around, have fun all day long, and he just loves to compete. So, I mean, what he's doing is extremely hard.
Every now and then there's a guy that will play football and basketball. There's been a couple of guys at Syracuse over the years, not recently, but I think Donovan McNabb actually got into a basketball game. Are there any guys on the football team right now who would actually make it on a college basketball team if they had chosen that route instead?
I don't know. You probably got a couple of them. They're not as good as they think, so I would say no. We're recruiting a few that I think are really good that can play both. I can't bring their names up. That's illegal, but we're recruiting a kid. One particular kid that I got to mind, and he knows who I'm talking about. He's really good, and we hope that he comes here and he plays both sports. It'd be cool to bring, that kid here.
Now, on the trip this week, you head out tomorrow, and you'll be there a couple of days, obviously focused on the game. But with a couple of days out there, is it any time or opportunity to actually go see a kid play or meet a player? No recruiting on this trip at all?
I'm going on business. We're going to work. Yeah, we got work. It's strictly work. There's nothing else. There's no room for anything but for us to go work.
Are there, though, West Coast, obviously, Pennsylvania and Ohio. In the East, we know the places where there's big high school football and great high school football being played. Maybe in the East, we're not as aware so much on the West Coast where there's good high school football.
Yeah, there's a lot of good high school. I've recruited. I've been there and got some kids from Las Vegas before. Got kids from California, but it's strictly business. We're not going there to look at any high school football. We're going there to focus on our team.
Question here about the road trip, and not necessarily just this one, but in general. But when you're on an away trip, and it's the first road trip here for the team this year, how do you handle things like curfew and room checks, etc.?
Same way. I check the room check every time we're here. I do room check myself. Curfew will be set, and once the curfew's set, there's no guests in the rooms, anything of that nature, just everything straight. But I do curfew check myself.
This one here, how is...
But we don't go out, though. You can't go out. You can't okay, we're going out and everybody could come back by 9:30 it's none of that.
Doesn't work that way.
Nah.
It's like, here's how it's going to work.
We're here. This is what you're doing. You want to have fun? Go watch film.
That's your fun.
Go do that. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And then sometime after the end of the season on your own, if you want to come back and have fun, then have at it. But right now, it's a business trip.
We're going to work.
This question here, but about the coach, person says, I know you're an Atlantis hotel guy, and I think you'd mentioned that before on vacation. You like to get to the Bahamas when you have some time to do that. Have you ever done the big steep slide there?
Yeah, I did.
It's pretty scary. It's pretty hardcore, though.
It's funny. You just got to laugh. What you got to do is let your kid go first. So my 12-year-old went before me, and then my oldest son was behind me, so I had to go.
You got to go.
And it's just like, all right. It's pretty cool. It gives you a little weird. You just got to start laughing, and then you'll be fine.
Let's see here. If you have any questions for the coach, if you're watching on QSportsTalk.com, feel free. Put it into the stream chat. We get to as many of these as possible. Question here. What are your expectations for the Syracuse fan base traveling to Vegas? And I know a bunch of people when this was announced last spring who immediately said, we're going to the game. There's a bunch of guys right here. We're all going right here from here to Chill. Hopping on the flight. Do you have any expectations, Coach, or have you heard?
No, we have a huge fan base out there in the West Coast already. So I know everybody from Cali, everybody that's in Las Vegas already. They'll already be there, and then of course there's going to be a lot of people to follow and come. So, I'm expecting a good turnout. I'm excited, thankful that everyone's coming. So, that's why it's a business trip. Got to make sure you go. Everybody's putting all their hard-earned money into coming out there and watching us and supporting us. So we're very thankful. And just got to make sure we go out there and compete. Go compete.
This is more of a comment, but someone here in the stream chat has worked in hotels in dealing with both pro and college teams. A little hint, I guess, hotels are able to lock elevators from going to floors that the teams are staying on.
Already on it.
You know all about that.
Yeah, Ryan, you hear that? Make sure. Yeah, we on that. And then we're going to have officers on the floors, and then I'm be up all night making sure we check all the rooms, just back and forth. But we're making sure we stay focused on that.
That's the goal. Now, the flight is 4 hours. It leaves tomorrow, gets out there, and with the time change, you're out there at a pretty decent...
Yeah, we out there at a good time. We're going to get out there and hang out. get out there, go out there, eat and stuff like that. So, well, everything we do, we'll do together. We'll have a little bit of fun when we get out there together. Just do a lot of stuff there.
Question here, now that it's October, somebody wants to know what kind of Halloween candy is given away at the Coach Fran Brown house when trick-or-treaters come?
I mean, not the Halloween candy I used to go get. My wife, she gives out like Snicker bars and candy bars.
Like the full-size one?
Like, yeah, full size. We used to get like candy corn and things like that. And she gives out a lot. But there's a lot that's given out. We'll have, after it gets too late and they still come, we actually just keep the actual bowl outside and tell the kids to take one. And she thinks they're really going to take one. Dump the whole thing in there. But it's she gives out good candy. We have a house to be decorated already. Every holiday is decorated, so she's really into all the holidays. Yeah.
And what's your go-to, like a Halloween type of candy when you want a candy bar?
A Snickers.
That's it.
Yeah, Snickers. Yeah, because I eat M&Ms, but don't nobody give out a pack of M&Ms. But I would say Snickers is the go-to.
Along those lines, candy corn, yay or nay, from the stream chat?
Candy corn, yay, when there's nothing else left.
But if there's a bunch there, you're not going for it.
You can't go to the candy corn. That's like at the end when there's nothing else left and you just want some, you eat the candy corn. And candy corn is almost like the black jelly beans. You know what I mean? Like, you wait to the end where there's nothing else left, and it's like, all right.
Then if you really want one, then, all right, I'm doing it.
Just eat them, yeah.
Question here, how's Marcellus Barnes doing?
He's getting a lot better. He's been jogging today and running and moving and all. So he's getting better, man. I'm excited for Marcellus. He's a tough kid, so he's working his way back.
Aside from that, we're starting to run it down here. Coach, I know that the coaching community is pretty tight-knit, and I remember watching an interview with Magic Johnson, and he said that when he was playing, this was after he's done playing, he said the whole time he played, every city that he went to, he would arrange a meeting or a lunch with a local CEO or a business owner or a leader, and he did that every away game during his entire career, so that when he was done, he had a PhD level knowledge of business and how to handle himself and how to run businesses outside of that. With coaches, do younger coaches get that kind of mentoring from other coaches around? Like when these young guys ask you for advice, does that happen a lot? And do you get that advice from other coaches that you admire around the country?
No, not all the time. You try to put yourself in a place with really good coaches on that staff, and you guys can talk and communicate, and then there's time for that. To me, is really in the spring, when there's time, and right in that summertime, and then that month off you guys may get, June or July, whenever it is. But when I go on a trip, I'm going to work. Like, this is work, so I don't really want to go see nobody else. I don't really talk to a lot of other coaches when I'm out. Like, everyone does that. Like, when I go to recruit, the whole time I was out recruiting, everybody tell you, like, I didn't talk to the other coaches and stuff. I just was like out there work. I thought we were competing, so I was competing against y'all. Like, I'll ask the dude, they would ask me, how many schools you been to so far today? And I'll say, how many you? And they'd tell me 3. And I'll be excited because I know I done hit 6. And I'll be like, yeah, I hit about 3 too. I just played off that way, but it's competitive. So, of course, you got some of the guys and you want to ask. There's different people that, I would say, Randy Shannon, who I wanted to ask him a bunch of questions when I got to know him on the road. And it was different guys I would ask to just pick their brain apart, like when we may have been at certain schools. But I like the idea that you said of him meeting with different business owners in different places. That is really intelligent and it's smart to do. But right now, where we are, I got to focus on making sure our team is straight before I'm able to I'm always be able to do that. I'm doing that a little bit here by myself now. But when we go other places, I'm not on that level of Magic Johnson to be able to do that right now. But I like it, and I'm going to make sure I put it in my phone when we're done. And it's something that I'll start to do after I become a more seasoned coach and I understand stuff more. But on my first trip, I can't I got to focus directly on our players, directly on the game, and everything is about the players, you know. And I just believe if I pour into the players, then more comes from me just pouring into them. And I just try to do that every day. Everything's about our players. You know, my wife, kids, and our players, the players. You know, because without them, none of this is possible. So it's all about the players.
Just a couple quick questions toward the end here, Coach. Do you have any say in future schedules, or are they set up so far ahead that do they get any input?
It was a couple set, but yeah, I'm starting to be able to give the input on the ones that weren't already contract based and done. But yeah, we got some input on a few things that'll go down.
And last but not least, Coach, it was family weekend, and it was a great atmosphere up on campus. It was a great day, and I was walking around to the Dome from the parking spot, and a lot of the fraternities and sororities had speakers out, and, you know, the parties going on. It was fun.
Yeah.
And in one fraternity, and I wish I could give credit, I don't know which one, they were playing, and I'd like to think maybe you had something to do with this, a Frank Sinatra song coming out of the speakers.
They should have been.
They did. It was New York, New York. It wasn't my way. It was New York, New York. But I thought it was cool for a college fraternity to be blaring Sinatra.
New York is a good one, too. Those two. Someone thought I said that was my favorite karaoke. I said, no, we talked about what Frank Sinatra songs I would be comfortable singing.
Yeah, there's a difference.
So, there was a big difference. Definitely not going to go to that one, but it was that's pretty cool to see that. I know when we rolled by in the morning, you seen all the fraternity houses were already set up, and it was pretty cool to see all that. It was like, wow, it was good.
Yeah, well, someone's saying it was ZBT, the fraternity ZBT, so shout out to them.
Shout out to ZBT. They had a good time, huh? Had a good time.
Safe travels. Go Orange. We'll be listening. We'll be watching on Friday night. We'll be back here next week. It's Coach Fran Brown here live at Heritage Hill. Thank you. And thanks, everybody, here at QSportsTalk.com. See you back here next week.
Yeah, appreciate everybody. Thank everybody, and appreciate everybody that's traveling out to Las Vegas. Make sure you're safe on the travels, and appreciate you as always, buddy.
All right, Coach. See you next week.
Thank you.